Alright, 7:24 a.m., 6/16/2023. This is gonna be a long lineup of losers in this legal proceeding as I outline my documentary for my first apartment, nonetheless, right? Because again, you see no one here, and it's like that Nas documentary about jungle. Because again, none of these people are here to the point to even reveal themselves or even show respect or even to go acknowledge each other's existence. Because it's not like the projects. Quite literally, it's worse. Because again, this is like the town, but even worse. When you're dealing with Islamophobia that's enshrouded with all types of controversy and dysfunctionality and all kinds of stuff like that. So again, like when I give you this lineup between Yasser Omar and Jamie, and also with Matthew Cruz, Adam, whoever, right? Like, yeah, Billy Dosky, right? Miguel, yeah, Jason, like, yeah, all these other people, right? Like, yeah, even Scott from AFSWE, right? Like, yeah, and along with Fred Cantu, right? Yeah, right. Along with a few others, right? Yeah, and what else? What else? Mike and John Dosky, all those idiots, PJ, Matt McAvoy, like, yeah, Adam with a F, right? Yeah, and and yeah, whoever's next, yeah, Albert Vasquez. All these guys are fucking so stupid to the point that they want to hide their racism and say like, oh, he's gonna talk about us and our Alex Jones stuff. Because quite literally, you still are following up with that nonsense. Like quite literally, I have to laugh every effing time. And again, like I'm gonna go line you up, and there will not be a usual suspects moment, or not even a town moment where you're gonna go and talk to like an interview and they say repeat this because quite literally you've I now that because now that close ties, but yeah, now that like I made sure to clout those close ties. Now that I also made fun of you in various ways and put like yeah trophy like whatever like little games like that like yeah, so again like yeah, continue doing that because quite literally you're gonna say XYZ one way or another because quite literally you did the same thing and you want to cover that up, so cover aside with the side when I go and like shit out is just saying so big enough to the point that you can't even remove it because that's funny to me nonetheless, and I don't like it phrasing like that or being as graphic or using that image or yeah that language, but go ahead. As a lawyer, you're so fucked in the ass to the point that I have to laugh. And any lawyer would say that, no less. Like, yeah, it's like this is like for kids here. Like, yeah, this ain't like yeah, jail's not a fairy tale place. Like, that's why I love reading the short story over the movie, like from Shawshank Redemption. But it's kind of ironic how I was at Holy Cross and saw that, and I came right over here because that's funny to me. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because again, like remember that one scene where the warden takes out the shoebox and like you see the shoes, right? And like, it was dirty shoes. Like, can you walk down the street with dirty shoes, regardless if you're rich or not? You know what I mean? Like, meaning that, like, can you actually walk down and place yourself in my shoes? Right? No, he couldn't. That's why he killed himself. That's why most of them want to kill themselves, except the small few. And now that, like, because now that let's look beyond your lifestyle, like your riches and like who you're around with for these reasons. Not many people are blessed to have the life that they have. Like yeah, and I have to acknowledge that and give you props one way or another. Like if you get by, with just be happy by yourself one way or another. Because quite lately, I turned my apartment into a med bay. And there's nothing changing that. There's nothing going to change it because I have to deal with the drawbacks. See, if you think I'm going to go and live the later Avoca, go ahead. I'm not that guy. Yeah. Now with that, I'd rather wait till, like, yeah, I'm out of this fucking occupation, this stupid fucking building. Yeah. Because quite literally, there's so many lame fucks here that deserve to be stabbed. Pedophiles, crack dealers, yeah, stalkers, sex pests, people who can't imagine hires Muslims so they could get harassed, even raped, have sexual assault cases whether they have to pay for it or not. Like, yeah, as an insult towards me and insult towards the Muslim community now and that, like, yeah, there's a lot of other things too. Like, yeah, as if I don't notice these indirect like references and euphemisms again like 50-50 like again, that's a reference from my uncle saying oh no my grandfather saying you are an n-word, yeah. Yeah, no, ever since I was little, yeah, and I am well enough in Chicago to be known as that, like, yeah, or are you okay? Are you okay right now? Quite literally, because again, like, yeah, between I'm a bit surprised that my grandfather let me stay around like at the fountain and cruise family this long enough, and now that not even get restraining orders nonetheless. Again, as I outlined this documentary and my disabled work, not only that my Philistine work, not only that my prison abolition work, not only that my sex trade abolition work, I have to go point this out and say, you're dumb as shit. Because again, like all the real homies like are doing things, right? Like from the mutual aid crowd. None of those fucking mega hat like wears or those people who have like student loan forgiveness stuff shit. Like it's quite literally there's no point. And everybody's saying as a Marxist or as a male or as a Maoist, we should all leave, right? Just get up and just leave America, right? And that's the quickest way out of this fucking solution. But that's the cruel punchline sometimes. And Pat's like, all right, it's a money move. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, stuff a lot. Like quite literally. Because all my friends are smart. Like, get your money up one way or another. Yeah. And all the real heads, like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. So let me just cushion the blow because again, I have to laugh one way or another. You know what I mean? Like, again, but when you're trying to go and build legal cases and say, hey, Alex, let's go and say Ismail's more of a racist, right? So we can make it easy for you to go and to what end, you know? And now it's to go drive me insane. Because quite literally, I was at the Jackson Street, and no one's gonna believe me, but here, because no, how often does this happen? Let me ask you this: if someone was to go throw themselves in front of a car, right, and Jackson Street alone, and for the police to show up and the ambulance, and we all look at this weird shit as if like what the fuck, like as if this is a phone booth or as if this is like a really weird, shocking moment, no less. And now that to go if before and after that to go and have weird scenes in here in Washington, let alone, right? Banned me for XYZ. Who gets banned in here in Washington? I was not homeless yet for all that shit. Because Scott is that fucking pathetic. Because you know why? He is a bully. He is a bully no matter what. And along with the reporter web and a few other people there. Like, yeah, and holding gold grudges. Now that fuck Robin from the Clearing Branch. Because that dude's a racist. How many books have you read? Quite literally, when I first started, I'm like, yeah, this is the education of Amy Goodman and a lot of other Marxist and leftist writers that you hate and you don't even understand. Not only that, the literature that you read, like, go ahead, because again, be Kevin Kershnick and watch porn at work, right? Because I'm pretty sure either way, this is pornographic no matter what. Because I'm thinking of that Bill Hicks line of several others. The marketing joke one, of course, I will point that out, but again, without the empathy, right? Yeah, without the ego, right? But where's the punchline side to that? So regardless, right? Yeah. So let me just throw that out there, but also like yeah, it's a right, and also like yeah, right, like also the other one with the book, right, and there's another one, right, yeah. Because again, why would you go and right make me take away my money, right? Like yeah. So again, I don't have to even give any cash for the fucking for weed, like yeah, for dispensaries, right? Right? Because that's odd to me. That really is odd, no matter what, especially medical marijuana. Yeah, because you want to go make me traumatized. So you want me to smoke street weed and say, "Oh, recreational uses," or like, yeah, find bullshit legal loopholes that say, "Ha ha ha." Nonetheless, well, the joke's on you, racist. Like, yeah, because quite literally, as I go build a class action lawsuit and also build individual cases in law, work around all this shit, right? Yeah, quite literally, because this douchebag Omar said you're gonna have to be a lawyer. Yeah, it's not that hard, eat it. Yeah. And so you want me made it hard in my life for the past 35 years to traumatize me so I won't think clearly, let alone X, Y, Z. You're that pathetic, frat boy. Because again, this is why I watch Young Privacy Woman. Like, yeah, young promising woman, because again, I know that you're one of those frat boys that roofie people that one way or another with stupid ideas, right? Take it as a metaphor, literization, however the F, right? Yeah, this quite literally is stuff that's funny because none of you bothered me when I was being discriminated against as I was praying out in the open. Now there are a lot of other things as well. Like, yeah, why would I go to my parents' house and why would you call the cops so for me to go pick up the books? Quite literally, your dad will embarrass me. Nowadays, if you think at the end of this that none of my friends or any of my foes, like even in regards for all walks of life, they will by that, fuck you. Now that I can't wait to go and stuff blades up your ear. Because again, like again, when I go up in the stand, but like, excuse me, you know how long this has been going on? You know how racist these people are, let alone how rich these people are, let alone for X, Y, Z reasons. And now it's just to go and hide the fact that you're hiding personal trauma, generational trauma, now that generational abuse, sexual abuse, all kinds of shit because of what again? Because your kids, let alone your ego. Fuck you. You're not that exceptional, buddy. So I don't care if I sue Omar to the point that you lose your law degree and there'll be open cases nonetheless. That has nothing to do with me. So again, why should I just wait around and deal with your ego? As I wait around and wait for my SSI and get worried one way or another because someone took my SSI debit card and you're not around, right? Yeah. Because the only person that helped me was my mom, but even then, her racism seeps into this conversation to the point like you're gonna get caught one way or another, and that's why I cut you off. This is why I cut a lot of you off because again, you guys are toxic, quite literally. So again, it's 7:35 a.m. 6/16/23. Like yeah, hi everyone. I know that this is bit of a like a hard hit right here. It's a sober moment, but we don't mistake. Like, yeah, it's true. And again, as a lawyer, future lawyer, I don't even want to be a lawyer to be honest. But again, like as a mental endeavor, as a as a little game with myself, not a game, but like like as a learning experience, and also you should learn the law regardless. So again, like yeah, I have to go point this out, and now that I have to be ruthless. And if you want really all my friend, regardless, you'll take the truth. Alhamdulillah, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, this is weird, buddy. But again, between me and my family, this is such an easy thing because I cut you off since what? Since childhood. You'd be surprised. I can't wait to outline that too. Like, yeah, 7:35 a.m., 6/16/23. Hi, everyone. Like, yeah. I love you all guys, but still, like, take the truth with a grain of salt.